Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Lagos State kick against destruction of public infrastructure, state government predicts high-intensity annual rainfall, and Lagos State engage Mushin youth, ask them to stay out of violence. Let's kick off the show with this rather disturbing news of public infrastructure vandalization. Some residents in the Alaba-Rago area of the state have constantly destroyed concrete slabs along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, a trend that is affecting the completion of the road project. Now, for this reason, the Lagos state government is sending a note of warning to residents in that axis, asking them to desist from such act or face the wrath of the law. Now, this message is coming from the Special Advisor to the Governor on Works and Infrastructure, Aramide Adeoye, who made this known during a stakeholders meeting at Alausa in Ikeja. Take a look.
Construction of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway is one of the major infrastructure projects being undertaken by the Lagos state government. This project has been on for over 10 years, and the state government says is working hard to deliver its own part of the road, which is over 70% completion. Even though there's some grounds to be covered before, the Special Advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on Works and Infrastructure once again appeals to residents to take ownership of what has been done so far and other public infrastructure.
One of the things that we say here is let the residents take ownership of whichever project is in their domain. We do that stakeholder engagement as a prerequisite for even going ahead with the project. Because there's no point for you to give people a project in their domain when the needs analysis has not been done. The first thing that we do in this ministry is what is the needs analysis? Before you begin to look at what is the social impact, the social economic benefit that you will get from that project. And then getting them to take ownership from day one. There's no point wasting resources only for people not to make use of them and begin to abuse that infrastructure from day one. We see a lot of abuse on that corridor. You see, particularly from Alaba-Rago, people actually wash cars on the road, on the pavement. You see mechanics put on tires on the roadway. You see market women actually sell on the walkway. You see street lights, they burn tires very close to street lights. And so these are the things that we cry against. We are government. Government is not just an executive council. Government is every individual who pays his or her tax. That's what composition of government is. And as citizens that are socially responsible, we will ensure that everyone, we always say it, take ownership. There's no point. There's a lot of influx of people coming to Lagos. Lagos stands for something. It stands for excellence. There's some things, there's some values that we cherish. Part of which is also living in an ambience that is conducive and is good, that is fit, that you can say this habitation is good. Where you have walkways turned into market stalls, you have people actually washing cars, you have people even defecating on the roadway. Before you come in the morning, you see it. These are all of the abuses that they subject the infrastructure to, and that's what we're crying about.
But it seems some criminal elements within the Alaba-Rago area of the state are bent on sabotaging investment on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway corridor. A development that prompted this meeting by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure with security operatives and others affected by the vandalization.
We have noticed a trend in the last 3 months.
The Special Advisor on Works and Infrastructure gives more details, including an update on arrest of those suspected of removing concrete slab meant to cover drainage channels.
The Lagos state government has invested a lot of money in the infrastructure along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway corridor, from lot 1 down to lot 2, segments 1, 2, and 3. It's disheartening that we have noticed a trend in the last 3 months, since the beginning of this year, that all of the precast elements, particularly cover slabs, street lights, road furniture, part of the road furnitures, are already being vandalized. The contractor on the project, Mr. CCC, had written severally to say this is beginning to happen and that they are helpless. So they decided even on their own to increase their security vigilance. And on 3 occasions, have apprehended in the dead hours of the night men vandalizing those infrastructure with sledgehammer. The pictures that you see on the screen that have been shown on the screen, they speak to that like men caught in the act. That's two gentlemen now. I think they have already been charged to court. One of them there said he actually found his way, he was going to Ibadan. And then he slept in the trailer and found his way to Lagos, where he met somebody who said he was going to go and break cover slab to remove the iron there. And he joined him. So the two of them were caught in the act there. They've been charged to court. That was on one occasion. On the second occasion, I think they met stock of iron rod already littered, because every day that they come to site, they see meters of roadway cover slabs already removed. And they put them in the carts. The picture that you see in one of the pictures, you will see the cart pusher. Exactly, that picture shows you somebody who has actually carried the cover slab, loaded it in the cart, about to take it away to go and break to remove the iron rod. You have scales on the roadway, people who buy the iron rod on the roadway. It doesn't speak to us as a people who have respect for public infrastructure. When you provide public infrastructure, it's meant for the overall good of people. And so when few individuals or elements come and decide that this is what they want to use to make a living, I think it's not right. We need, as a government and as a people, to flush them out. We preach each time when we provide this infrastructure, to say, let them take ownership. Let people who own this infrastructure take ownership from day one. And this is one of the bad examples of how not to take ownership. I'm glad if you look here to my right, you see all of the DPOs along the corridor. It's something that they're well aware of. They have actually been part of the process of apprehending all of these people. It's a sad development. Every iron rod that they have traced there, that have been stolen, have been found in Alaba Rago community. The people, if you were here all throughout, everybody has said it, they confirmed it. So it's just a claim, it's not just a claim, it's an assertion that people have proven. They said, yes, it is true. So the question is, what are we doing? And that's why I said, as a government, we'll ramp up our patrols around it, we'll escalate it. It's a security, it's a point of concern for all of us, and then we'll see what we'll do in the next coming days and weeks. In the meantime, the Arewa community, the head of the Arewa community, whose representative is here, it will go back home so that they can go back to sensitize and speak to the people in the language that they will understand. To say this is not how to eke a living in Lagos. It's not right. We won't condone it as a state. And so they need to check their ways. Lagos is accommodating to all, but we should not come in here to destroy the infrastructure.
Meanwhile, one of the Alaba Rago community leaders assured the state government of engaging the people to ensure they do the right thing.
I never knew this is happening. I'm just hearing it for the first time. And I'm not happy that these things are pointing down to my people. But we've had everything. We have had everything, and we surely go back to our people to warn them not to destroy government property. It's not been done anywhere in the world.
Challenges aside, the contractor in charge of the road project explains efforts made so far.
Some months ago, we discovered that part of the road drains were being vandalized. So we thought it was just a mere issue, not until when we discover on daily basis that these things continues on the road. It started from Okoko down to Alakija. So on daily basis, they break away the drain covers and go away with the iron rods. We intensify our patrol at night. Myself and the security agencies, we go around to make sure we patrol this corridor. And on daily basis, we normally apprehend some of them, which they confess to us that that is what they see other doing, and they also continue doing the same thing. Some of them might not even be aware of the danger inherent in doing such a thing, but because they see others doing it. So that's why we are here today, so that the Lagos State government can talk to the Asirikis, so that they can also preach to them that maybe if it's ignorance, they should know that this thing is not the right thing to do. It's not a way of, it's not the national cake, that they should just go there and be fetching. So they should find other alternative job to do, which will fetch them better money.
The state government is hopeful that this puts an end to the issues causing small delays along this major corridor, and is confident of moving ahead unhindered with the 30% has left to be done.
Dear Lagosians, the deadly coronavirus pandemic is here. Its new strain is easily transmitted and deadlier. Coronavirus symptoms are fever, dry cough, tiredness, difficulty in breathing. We can all prevent the spread of this virus through appropriate and regular use of face masks, avoiding close contact with people who are at high risk, washing our hands regularly with soap and running water, especially after visiting the toilet, before eating and after coughing or sneezing, using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, maintaining at least 1.5 meters or 5 feet distance from anyone coughing or sneezing, covering our mouths with tissue while coughing or sneezing, and thrashing the tissue. If you feel unwell and show symptoms of coronavirus, or you notice anyone who does, please call the Lagos State Emergency Hotlines 08000 ECOMED or 0803 3356 5529. Many are dead. Don't fall victim or die in ignorance. Report now. Together, we will overcome this challenge. Igbega Ipinle Eko, Mushin, Lagos State Government. Announcer.
The rainy season indeed is here, and the Lagos State Government has predicted that this year's rainfall is expected to commence at Lagos Island by the first week of April. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tunji Bello, announced this during a press conference at Alausa Ikeja. He says the maximum annual rainfall is predicted to be 1,750 millimeters.
Lagos is a city virtually surrounded by water. With a coastline of about 180 kilometers, it is prone to seasonal flooding. The state government is aware of the adverse effects that come with flooding, and so the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources briefs on the 2022 rainfall prediction, with Lagos Island expected to have a total of 1,627 millimeters of rainfall.
The rainfall prediction for Lagos this year is a normal rainfall amount. However, the rainfall from neighboring Ogun and Osun states, the dams, releases, and rivers flowing to the state will also be monitored. Ikeja is expected to have a rainfall onset from 17th of March, which is expected to end on the 3rd of December, with a total amount of 1,392 mm, as specifically highlighted by NIMET. The predicted onset and cessation and rainfall amount of 2022 is similar to the prediction for 2021. And the implication is that we are anticipating a rain pattern of high intensity and frequency similar to that of 2021. Lagos Island is expected to have a rainfall onset from the 6th of April, and which is expected to end by 30th of November. However, the seasonal climate prediction for Lagos State generally signifies that the onset dates range from 17th of March, which we have passed, and up till, that's the earliest date, and up to the 6th of April. That is when the rain is expected to begin. So by 6th of April, officially, rain will have started. And we are expecting the rain to end around between 30th of November and 5th of December of this year. It is also expected that the recent increasing frequency of extreme weather events will continue in 2022, with days of extremely high rainfall amount, which may result in flooding. We call for caution as strong winds are expected during the onset and cessation of every rainfall, just as envisaged harmattan are predicted, which may cause reduction in visibility and bring about flight disruption and loss of revenue. We are past the harmattan stage now. However, gentlemen of the press, it should be noted that the construction of our network of weather stations has commenced and will soon reach completion stage. This will assist us to monitor the weather in our state, as well as increase our preparedness for weather-related issues. Towards ensuring a flood-free and hygienic environment in the state, the Ministry has embarked on an all-year-round drainage maintenance for effective and efficient flood control, in addition to an efficient, sustainable solid waste management system. In the same vein, we are determined to maintain the long-established synergy and partnership with Ogun Osun River Basin Authority, which has ensure control and monitoring of the steady and systemic release of water from Mushin Dam to prevent flooding of the downstream reaches of Ogun River.
Plastic waste is a major challenge, often hindering the free flow of water across the drainage channel. And the State Waste Management Authority says it will continue to educate the general public on proper waste disposal, while the clearing of drainage networks will be a regular exercise.
All our organized estates in Lagos are mandated to separate their waste from source, and private organizations as well. So we started seeing a lot of news even before that. We have one of our closest estates here, Magodo Phase 2, will be predicted to be the first estate to achieve a recycling certification before the end of next week. Because they take a bold step to call all the residents and say, we are going to go to 2-bin system in Magodo. We are going to ensure that all our waste are separated from every household, and there will be zero tolerance on plastic in that community. So all these are attributed to the Ministry of Environment-led, initiated plastic policy that we have in the states, and we want to assure everyone, our residents, that that is the way to go for us. We have our sister agency in ASEPA that will also be helping with advocacy and awareness. They will continue doing that while we are providing the operational support in Loma to the plastic policy. And I want to assure you that we are currently doing an advocacy program at all the 57 LG and LCDA in Lagos. Today we were in our 15 and 16, which is Mushin, Okunla, and Ayobo. And we continue to talk to them about plastic waste, separation of waste from source, drainages, market issues that they ask as well. We've started to address that and ask the market leaders and the market masters to ensure that the right decision and right steps are being taken.
Another major concern is the expected increase in sea level, which will affect low-lying areas.
It's a known fact that Lagos is basically low-lying, and several areas are below sea level. So if and when the one climate change prediction is a sea level rise, and another 50-60 years from now, the sea level would have risen by 2.1 meters. And by direct inference, a large part of the low-lying areas will be submerged. So the state government is in the process of properly predicting through engineering studies this impact and which areas are likely to be affected and what are the mitigation measures to be put in place. We shouldn't wait for the sea level to rise before we start implementing the solution. We need to really be proactive, futuristic, and put in place necessary procedures and processes to be able to make sure that we are ready and able to sustain the development that are already the low-lying areas.
Agility and avoidance. These are low-lying areas where you're not supposed to build. So if you find yourself there, you go to build and you're just wasting your money. Everybody must be a police officer. Not police officer, wearing uniforms, but policing the environment. And the lawbreakers are not uneducated people. We have some educated people, managers that will leave their house by 5 a.m. and load their boots with refuse, only to go and drop it by the roadside and then go to work. That's what they do. They do it when the streets are still empty. These are well-educated people. So we need coordinated efforts. Symbiotic relationship, everybody hands be on the plow to be able to deal with this. Otherwise, as the population of Lagos rises, you will have more refuse, you have more people, you will have more violation of these things that we are talking about here. So everybody should be a partaker in this business of making Lagos a livable city. There's no doubt about it. People will continue to come here because this is where the economy is. This is Lagos, where things are happening.
Government is also appealing to residents to clean up their surrounding to lessen the effect of flooding from blocked drainage networks.
Dear Lagosians, the deadly coronavirus pandemic is here. Its new strain is easily transmitted and deadlier. Coronavirus symptoms are fever, dry cough, tiredness, difficulty in breathing. We can all prevent the spread of this virus through appropriate and regular use of face masks, avoiding close contact with people who are at high risk, washing our hands regularly with soap and running water, especially after visiting the toilet, before eating and after coughing or sneezing, using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, maintaining at least 1.5 meters or 5 feet distance from anyone coughing or sneezing, covering our mouths with tissue while coughing or sneezing, and brushing the tissue. If you feel unwell and show symptoms of coronavirus, or you notice anyone who does, please call the Lagos State Emergency Hotlines 08000 ECOMED or 0803 3356 5529. Many are dead. Don't fall victim or die in ignorance. Report now. Together, we will overcome this challenge. Igbega Ipinle Eko, Mushin, Lagos State Government. Announcer.
The Lagos State Government has asked the youth not to be deterred by circumstances, but rather stay focused and become someone to reckon with in the future. This message is coming from the Special Advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on Transportation, Oluwatoyin Fayinka, during an interactive session with the youth in the Mushin area of the state.
All the youth organizations here present.
Lagos State is engaging youths in Mushin on the need to stay focused and not get involved in unlawful acts that may affect their future. The discussion is being pushed by the state government through the Office of the Special Advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on Transportation, Oluwatoyin Fayinka, who goes down memory lane about his own experiences in life.
Before the simple word they have been saying, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is not good, it's hard, it's this. Yes, people are prospering. Don't let anybody tell you that because Nigeria is bad now, you cannot make it. I was once a bus conductor. And you made it. By the grace of God. Because you do not go to upper school, you cannot make it. I am a good example and a good testimony that it can be better. And it's going to be better. So my plan for the youth, very simple. I've told you what lives are. I've told you what life could bring. I shall continue to be accessible to the youth. Giving you money all the time is good, but it's not the best. What do you make out of it? How do I make you? How do I counsel you to be able to be a giver also? After I told you I lived at Atikula Banji, I migrated to 2 people Agimutoro. Then some 30 years ago, I lived at Okesoya, at that Celestia. I was sleeping in that Celestia on bare floor for more than 10 years. Here I am today. Who says you cannot make it?
The conversation is perfectly timed according to youths in this area who share their thoughts on issues bothering them.
How do you intend to help the small-scale business and artisans among the youth of our constituencies? What new change or plans should we in Mushin be expecting from you?
What we want to do for youth about our area? 1, to have job, and then 1, to make a peace to our area.
He takes up some of their issues.
That will give youth unhindered access to an information that could lead to prospects. If you are desperate making it and you want to suffer, but there is no enabling environment for you, it will hinder. It can even kill your hope or aspiration. But we shall initiate. If none in existence already, we shall initiate one, or if you have it already, we shall activate it so as to allow the unfettered, unhindered access to information that could help you grow. We shall do that.
Mushin is known to be a notorious area in Lagos, but the youths are determined to change the narrative.
It's time to change the narrative because we have been so stereotyped in the aspect of negative vices. But for me as a Mushin, to emerge out of 530 contestants in the pageant to become Mr. Nigeria, I believe the youth in Mushin now, they are looking up to me as a role model and they are aspiring to do more. So Mushin, we are going to the...
More local government areas will be covered in the days ahead as the state government continues to engage youths to ensure that peace is maintained across the state.
And that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until next time, remember to stay safe.